You may think a bird landing near you is completely random. After all, birds are everywhere. They fly where they want, land where they want, and leave whenever they choose. But what if that's not always true? What if some of the encounters you've ignored for years weren't random at all? Because there is one behavior birds display around humans that most people notice, but almost nobody understands. And once you know what it means, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Discovery phase. Imagine you're outside. Maybe you're sitting in your backyard, walking through a park, working in your garden, or simply standing still for a moment. Then a bird appears. Not overhead. Not in the distance. Close. Closer than you expected. It lands nearby and stays there. For a few seconds. Maybe longer. What's strange isn't that the bird arrived. It's that it doesn't leave. Most people glance at it and continue with their day. But bird behavior experts have noticed something fascinating. When a bird chooses to remain near a person despite having every opportunity to fly away, it's often making a calculation. A decision. And that decision can reveal far more than most people realize. But before we get into that, there's another detail that makes this behavior even more unusual. Because sometimes the bird isn't just nearby. It's watching. Revelation phase. Have you ever felt like a bird was staring at you? Not just looking in your direction. Actually watching you. Most people laugh off this feeling. Yet birds spend a huge portion of their lives observing. Observation is survival. Every movement matters. Every sound matters. Every unfamiliar object matters. And humans are among the most unpredictable creatures birds encounter. So when a bird pays attention to you, it's gathering information. The question is, what information? Researchers studying bird intelligence have discovered something remarkable. Many bird species can recognize individual humans. Not groups of humans. Not general shapes. Specific people. Faces. Patterns. Behaviors. Some birds remember who disturbed them. Others remember who fed them. Some even remember who ignored them. And that's where things become interesting. Because once a bird has information about you, its behavior can begin to change. But the next behavior is the one that surprises almost everyone. Curiosity loop. What happens when the same bird keeps appearing over and over again? Most people assume coincidence. Yet repeated encounters may reveal something entirely different. Relationship building. Think about this. Have you ever noticed a bird showing up whenever you're outside? The same fence. The same tree branch. The same rooftop. At first it feels random. Then it happens again. And again. And eventually you start wondering if it's the same bird. In many cases, it is. Birds are far better at remembering locations than most people realize. Their survival depends on it. Food sources. Safe areas. Threats. Shelter. They remember what works. And they return to it. If your presence consistently signals safety, predictability, or even curiosity, a bird may become increasingly comfortable being around you. Not because it's forming a human friendship in the way people often imagine. But because you've become part of a pattern it understands. And birds love predictable patterns. But then something unexpected sometimes happens. The bird suddenly disappears. And that's where the mystery deepens. Curiosity loop. Why would a bird appear every day for weeks, only to vanish without warning? The answer reveals how birds see the world. Disappearance phase. When birds disappear, people often assume something bad happened. Sometimes that's true. But often, the explanation is much more interesting. Birds constantly adapt. They follow food. weather, breeding cycles, migration routes, changes in territory. What feels like a disappearance to us may simply be a shift in priorities for the bird. Yet many people report something curious. Weeks later, or even months later, the bird returns, as if no time has passed at all. And in some species, that possibility is very real. Because birds possess an ability that still amazes researchers. Memory. Not just memory of places. Memory of experiences. Memory of outcomes. Memory of individuals. Which leads to an even bigger question. What exactly are birds remembering about us? Revelation phase. Birds don't see humans the way humans see humans. They aren't evaluating your personality, your career, your reputation. None of that matters. What matters is consistency. Birds pay attention to behavior. Are you calm? Are you predictable? Do you move suddenly? Do you create disturbances? Do you represent danger? Or safety? Over time, birds build a profile. A simple but powerful understanding of what happens when you're around. And once that profile forms, their actions begin reflecting it. This explains why one person can walk through a park and birds scatter instantly, while another person enters the same space and birds barely react. The birds have learned something. Something most people never realize they're teaching. But there is one behavior that may be the strongest signal of all. And very few people ever notice it. Climax build-up. Watch carefully the next time a bird lands nearby. Not just where it lands. What it does next. Does it immediately search for food? Does it fly away? Or does it pause? That pause is important. Because during that brief moment, the bird is collecting information. Evaluating. Observing. Deciding. And if it remains despite having every opportunity to leave, it suggests something powerful. Not that you've been chosen. Not that the bird possesses mystical knowledge. But that, in a world filled with risks, uncertainty, and constant threats, it has judged the situation safe enough to stay. And for a wild animal, that's a significant decision. Every day, birds make thousands of survival choices. Most are automatic. Some are not. The choice to remain nearby can represent the outcome of countless observations you've never noticed happening. Which means the bird wasn't simply reacting to that moment. It may have been responding to a pattern built over time. Emotional connection phase. Perhaps that's why these encounters feel so meaningful. Not because birds are sending secret messages, but because they remind us of something easy to forget. The natural world is paying attention. Even when we aren't. The bird on the fence. The robin in the yard. The sparrow on the sidewalk. They're constantly gathering information. Learning. Adapting. Remembering. And occasionally, our paths cross in ways that feel surprisingly personal. Maybe that's why so many people remember certain bird encounters years later. Not because they were dramatic, but because they felt different. Like something quietly noticed them back. Ending. So the next time a bird lands nearby, don't immediately dismiss it as random. Take a moment. Watch. Notice what it's doing. Notice what you're doing. Because what appears ordinary on the surface may be part of a much larger story unfolding all around you. A story of observation, memory, trust, and survival. Birds notice far more than most people realize. And sometimes, the most fascinating thing isn't that you're watching the bird. It's that the bird may have been watching you first.